Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Manifest Your Dream Body Bootcamp. The first thing that we have to do before we jump in is you're going to need a little back work, or what I like to call pregame. The pre-gaming is so that you really are fully aware in total acceptance of where you are beginning this journey. Most of us that have been chasing the light, chasing information, chasing our success, chasing our dreams, have done so by abandoning us, abandoning this. And that has basically brought us back to square one. And when we get back to square one, we're usually looking at kind of a big mess. And that is really why I wanted to launch this particular boot camp, especially before the holidays. Most of you guys are going to be like, oh, start after the holidays, right? But you have to understand that the nature of reality is that you're never going to ever be different by doing anything in physical reality, ever. Because in physical reality, you are already the character in action of your subconscious programming. Your subconscious programming is what they consider the soul, and the soul makes up the body. And the reason why spirit has a body is to be able to feel and indicate the awareness of the mind and awareness connection so that you can have that oneness with yourself. So you can feel and taste and touch the sensations of creation. But manifestation is literally just whatever you've been thinking dominantly and what you secretly think about yourself manifested out. Okay. So in the order for us to really power through the imagineering work that you're going to be doing 30 days of, and it's going to be probably the most fun part of this boot camp because it is where you begin to disciple from the higher self within you. You're going to learn things about yourself that you had no idea, that you knew, that you had, that you feel, that you think. And that is really going to set the tone for doing the deeper work of more of the cleanup that has to occur. Because most of us that would consider ourselves empaths or creeper, empaths or light workers are we're light chasers. And I know you know what I'm saying, because when you don't feel good, you go on YouTube. Okay. When you don't know something, you go study. When you don't understand something, you ask. When you can't figure out something, you try. And so what's kind of like freaky about this is when you really look up the definition of light chaser, or what a light chaser is, it's aka Lucifer. Lucifer was a light chaser, light bearer. Okay. And this was designed on purpose for this particular template so that you would never truly integrate into the soul, the spirit and the soul becoming one. Because when the spirit and the body is constantly seeking information, constantly seeking light, constantly seeking pleasure, constantly seeking answers, constantly seeking advice, when it's all literally right here. Everything that you're ever going to truly know in the universe, you will learn from inside of you, which means every time you ask the questions and do all of these things, you are getting further and further and further away from the truth. And so this is what makes our bodies not work for us. This is what that disconnected feeling is. This is what pain is. Pain is come home to me. All right. That's what disease is you have not been living there. And yes, I want every single one of you out there to be in your dream body, because let's face it, if we're going to be spirit in physical form, don't you want to feel like the spirit within you? Don't you want to walk around in a body that feels like that real you? Because it's not really about vanity, but it kind of is, because the whole reason that you're here is so that you can physically experience reality from a non-physical perspective. And so it's like having to drive a crappy car your whole life. And yeah, you're grateful that you have it, but you could turn it into a Ferrari if you wanted to. You just have to truly understand the nature of reality. And I'm so grateful for myself that I focused on the body first. I focused on the body because it was one thing that I could constantly create and control. I couldn't control the relationship. I couldn't control the clients coming or going or not paying or not showing up. I couldn't control, the outside circumstances, but this was something that I could show up to every day, every day, every day. And when I finally hacked into the mainframe and became the dominant creator of the body, everything in my life got better because I'm home, right? When your safety is coming from outside of you, you're truly not safe. When you feel love when that person texts you, you're truly not in love. When you feel abundant, when you have money, you're not really wealthy or rich. You're not even really abundant. When you feel free on the weekends because you're not working, you're not really free. Because the nature of reality is that when you are one with your body, then how you truly feel is what you are manifesting. And this is why no one really wants to be in their body, because that's where all of the subconscious programs are. The subconscious programs that have been recorded and impressed through your lifetime when you were vulnerable, when you were open, when you were, out there in the world doing new things, when you were susceptible, when you were programmable, right? That is where these programs came from. And we're looking at a world that is very wounded. So, of course, we're going to get ourselves a handful of, if not hundreds, of very, non-I am based belief systems that are going to trip you up until you change them. So the big part of this particular boot camp is for you to truly understand that you have absolutely no power in physical reality until you change your subconscious programs. All of your power is going to be behind the scenes, all of it, which means that I don't care how strong you feel that day or how much you take your power back in that meeting or how much money you just received in that moment. Your story is your story, and it's always going to end a certain way. And the people are always going to show up this certain way, no matter how much spiritual chasing you've been doing, no matter how much learning, because it's not what you know that creates the shift. It is what you do with the knowledge. And most people are so addicted to the next piece of information and the next piece of information that they're taking that information and embodying it. Therefore, they're becoming more aware with the knowledge of how things work, but they can't make it work. So if you are falling into that category, then this is going to be absolutely perfect for you, because this is what I want to gift you, so that not only will you have this amazing super suit and it is working with all levels of your consciousness. You are not replaying the past. I'm unworthy. I'm not chosen. Everything I love runs away from me. I'm abandoned. I'm rejected. I'm denied. I'm devalued, right? The core belief systems that you carry are going to cause all of your efforts to end always the same way. You don't have to believe me. Just go take a stroll down, memory lane and look at what is happening right now. There's always a high of a loop and there's always a low. But if you look at how it always ends, nothing in physical reality that you do differently is going to change how that ends. I know, I've practiced it, I've tried to master it, and it doesn't work. The power that I have really attained has never come from inside physical reality. It has always been when I went within, always. So basically, the first 60 days, you're going to be learning how to go within and completely learn how to work with and command the body so that it feels safe with you and you feel safe with it. And then it is going to be ahead of you with your desires, because right now it is ahead of you with your programs. Your whole system is anticipating your next loop, your next move, your next crisis, your next breakup, your next money failure. And hope is the drug that we use. I hope it's different this time. I hope he's different this time. I hope I'm different this time. And if you feel hopeful, I can guarantee you, I will tell you how it's going to end. It's going to end badly, because hope isn't a feeling of I know. It is, I hope I've done enough work for this to change. I hope this time my investment works out for me. And you will see that you're going to keep looping and looping and looping and looping, but you're going to be attaining more so-called failures, more heartbreaks. And what that does is it tears your physical body down, because you are a feeling being, and all of that doesn't feel good. And see, this is what Neville Goddard was talking about when he talks about self-concept and the law of assumption. See, what you hope will happen is not what your body assumes is going to happen. Your body is already preparing for the next trigger before conscious mind gets triggered. So let me show you how this works. Okay. The subconscious mind is a woman. That's the real way that I can demonstrate this. And she is all of the programs. She is all of the stories. She is all of the happenings of your reality. She is also all of the potential, all the infinite potential that will ever be you. And that's why she's referred to as the soul, or the womb of creation. Okay, so let's take this cup of water. I was going to go out and get dirt, but my shirt was too clean. So you're going to have to imagine dirt. Okay, so when you were a baby, it's clean water, right? And a solid cup. You're in a body. So this would be your body, okay? But the outside represents your conscious mind. So the conscious mind is who you believe you are, who you appear to be, how the world sees you, okay? And what is inside of you is your subconscious mind, the things that have happened to you over and over again, the things that you haven't manifested yet, the things that you'll never manifest, is all contained in here. All of your potential and every one of your limits that you have created this far. Okay. The reason why we say it is a woman is because she is the one who fills the space of your reality. She is what, like, if she was creating a movie for you, she would populate all of the casting characters, all of the props, the stage, everything in your universe is birthed and projected through you with your subconscious mind. Not what you want, but what you are. Okay. And so this is why when we want, and when we trying to figure out how to get, and we're going outside of ourselves, the answer is in here. Your subconscious mind is going to be the only way you will ever change physical reality for that purified reality. I don't mean the bittersweet reality where it's kind of better and this guy's a little bit better. I'm talking about pure desire from your higher power, like heaven, like movie love, guys, and like happily ever after, not 3 months and then turned into a psycho or ran away with all my money. So yes, we can create, because we're constantly asking and thinking and imagining, but how it ends is your subconscious. Okay, your conscious mind is the masculine, and the masculine is supposed to be concentrating on the desires, staying loyal to the heart's desires, putting effort into the heart's desires, being accountable to the heart's desires. Sound familiar? What we want from our men, right? Like, this is what we want from our partners. Okay, so ultimately, when you do this boot camp, you're going to realize that you have a masculine and a feminine part of your brain. And your masculine has one role and your feminine has the other role. And one is dictating your current, present moment thought. And one is the accumulation of all of your thought. And together, they manifest, right? Through the intimacy and connection that they have, they manifest your desires. So when your conscious mind, girls, ladies, I know you can understand this, when your guy is not being consistent and he's not putting the effort in, like he said, and he's not being accountable to what you guys were trying to build and create here, and he's not, accepting responsibility. He's over here, he's over there, he's over there. He's not doing anything. Then the subconscious mind will just do it herself. Sound familiar? Okay. But what she's going to do is what she's always done. This is why men always have like, why do you keep bringing up the past? And you're probably saying that too when you manifest. Why does the past keep manifesting? Because she will manifest everything that she is until she is something new. All right. So when we get traumatized and ridiculed and humiliated and guilted and shamed and all kinds of wonderful things that happen here, this water becomes dirty. All right. And when you go on your spiritual journey, like I did a little video, but it's like taking one little dirt pebble out, right? But the water is still contaminated. And this is why you do some shadow work, you feel great, you have a Reiki session, and then you go out and bam, you're dating the same guy, but he's a little bit better, but not enough. Because again, when you understand that when we're talking about scripture here in the manifesting, that is the manifesting Bible, right? That's the Bible to manifest. You understand that it's like the new man. You've got to be new here. So the conscious mind's job is to actually affirm that which it chooses to be, not what it can be, not what it's allowed to be, not what it's supposed to be, not what it's obligated to be, but that which it desires, and be accountable, be consistent, be disciplined, put the effort in. Because if that constant affirming behavior and imagination training can impress, look at that word, impress, impregnate the subconscious mind, you will have a brand new reality. All right. But think about it. Think about if you're a woman watching this. When do you feel safe to receive? All right. If you were going to receive something, especially from your man, how would you need to feel in order to receive? All right. You would need to be relaxed. You would be in a receiving mode. You would need to be turned on. All right. So this conscious mind is not being consistent with desires. It's going from, I want a new house to I can't afford the house I have. I want love, but this guy really hurt me. Okay, so the conscious mind is being all inconsistent. And so she shuts down. And so she just runs her programs. And it doesn't matter what you're doing with constant new, looking at new teachers, creating new content over here, looking at this, reading new, going down this rabbit hole. You are getting so far removed from what is going on at home that you're starting to create bigger and bigger storms for yourself. Okay. And so this is what happens when the soul and the conscious awareness get so far away, you start manifesting a lot of things to bring you home. Okay. Money crisis, body crisis, relationship crisis. This is all 911 to get the family together. Now, unfortunately, ego is the mediator between the conscious awareness and the subconscious. It's the focus, it's the tool to keep the focal point there. It isn't necessarily bad in nature, but it has become bad because it's been left alone to manage something it was never designed to manage. So let's look at a relationship. We've got the masculine man and we've got the feminine woman, let's just say, and they're married. And they're having problems because they're on definitely different pages. They live in two different universes. And the ego is whispering always in the ear of the subconscious. He's never going to change, right? And so now it's like the ego's desire is to split this up even more. If you've ever had a friend that came between your relationship that was gossiping and throwing your partner under the bus, or his partner was, that is what happens. And when you are down here chasing information, chasing light, chasing love, chasing success, you are moving further and further away from knowing that you are creating everything. It feels like everything is created at you. It feels like you have no say. You are going crazy because all you study is how to create your reality, and yet you're getting further away. So guys, it's time to come home. This is why I'm doing this boot camp, because by the end of this 90 days, not only will you live here, this will be your dream home. This will be your mansion. And from it, the kingdom of heaven, you will be able to create everything in effortless time and effortless action. Because the more action that you're having to put outside of you, the less power you have inside. Okay. The more you have to do out there, it is because you have less power over yourself and no power over these programs. So this is what is always going to be you. And what is inside of here is what you're looking at in physical reality. So this is you spilled out. That is the law of reflection. Everything is you. So if you have a belief system that you are not chosen, okay, and you have done a lot of work and you've got, self-love, and you jump back out in the dating scene and you meet the person and they tell you right away they're going to choose you and you're hearing everything you want to hear, you're seeing this part of them. Everybody is always showing you who they want to be. Okay. I want to be this. I want to choose you. Okay. But 3 months in, well, guess what? The integration starts to happen, and the insides of that cup and the insides of this cup start to spill into each other. And the commitment and attachment disorder starts to, wrestle around, and you start to not feel chosen. And they start to feel whatever their wound is. And instead of going, wow, this is my subconscious program showing up again, right? Then it's just blame and victim perpetrator energy and gossip and whatever else. And then we start all over again and hope it will be different next time. And it never will, ever. So the nature of reality is that you have a subconscious mind that is projecting every single thing that you see, feel, taste, touch, experience. That's it. That's it. And the conscious mind's job is to decide that what is seeing, do they like it? And if not, build something new. Divine masculine, builder, provider, protector, fixer. Divine masculine, okay? Divine feminine, nurturer, grower, all right? She's going to grow these subconscious programs until I'm not chosen is in your money, it's in your work, it's in your relationship, and it's in your kids. And then it's in your body. So one small little childhood program builds personality. And see, this is what Joe Dispenza was trying to teach. He had that first book, Break the Habit of Becoming Yourself or something, and then Becoming Superhuman. That's everything I'm just explaining. You have literally personality traits that are birthed out of your subconscious programming. So if you're feeling not chosen, you are going to have a personality around it. And what that personality is going to look like is you're going to have to need to feel chosen. You're going to try everything to feel chosen. It's your motivating factor. So you have to look at what the subconscious program is and then what your motivation of your personality is and how it always ends. How does it always end? And that's how it's always going to end, except unfortunately, some of you guys believe in age and time. And so when these start to stack up, that motivation starts to get, what is the point? It always ends the same. Everybody's the same. All men are the same. Every diet I work doesn't work. Every time I get a job, they don't appreciate me. Okay. Every time I start something, it fails. And it always, always will. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news here. I'm literally speaking from experience because I built a really big life from my conscious chasing and didn't realize that I had I can't keep anything running in the back, or I'm not chosen, or I don't have a foundation, or whatever my belief systems were at the time. And that core belief system is in everything you do. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in there. Each of you are going to go in your own subconscious and you're going to analyze, and you're going to do a lot of work around discovery, which means you're going to find between 3 and 5 core belief systems that have never served you. All right. Now, I'm not saying your whole life is horrible, because you have so many wonderful programs in there. We're only talking about the ones that give you a mediocre reality when you know who you really are. Okay. You're here to be extraordinary. You're here to shine. You're here to expand. You're here to develop. You're here to create. Okay. And if everything that you're creating gets destroyed, or it feels like it's never actually getting finished, or you're feeling stuck, like nothing's moving, that's why. All right. It is because the subconscious is going to run that program and get bigger and bigger, because divine feminine grows. Divine masculine, who's your conscious awareness, is going to build the new reality, hold the affirmation until it impresses divine feminine, which is the soul will open up the womb, accept the new program. And here is the best news, guys. Once subconscious accepts a new program, it's forever, which means in order to change it, you're going to have to do the same thing that we're going to be doing for 90 days. We're going in and changing subconscious programs that are set in motion to destroy your reality. Okay. That's what we're looking for. And that's what we're going to find. And that's all of our focus. And then once we know what the root destroyer is, right, the negative core belief system, then once we have that, we can work in the non-duality of it. We can work to create the opposite experience, and we build the whole new world around the opposition. I am, I can, I do, I have. And then that begins to blossom and bloom. And this is why I don't have to work on my body anymore, because once the subconscious mind believes who you say you are, it operates on autopilot through law of assumption over and over again, even without your focus. Okay. You're doing this thousands of times a day. You're on automatic pilot, whether you know it or not, because of your programs, the way you show up, the people you choose, the things you say, where you go. 90% of it is autopilot subconscious. All right. So once you actually start to change this, and then you learn how to disciple from your higher power, you're not getting your safety and your hits off of the outside chase of the light world, of the spiritual world. You're learning to light yourself up and empower. And when you start directing source energy into the body instead of everywhere else, you start to feel very different, and your body begins to come alive. No matter how old you are, it begins to radically shift and heal. Things that you've had a problem with for a very long time will just disappear. All right. So that's the beauty of it, is once you get it right, it is going to be something you don't have to worry about. It's like little kids. They aren't constantly checking the mirror. They aren't constantly like dealing with this and this and this, and they're not constantly worrying about pain. They're just in their body, pretending, playing, living. And that's what I want for you, because when you don't have to worry about this, okay, you can create your playground and design your playmates off of who you truly are, not what you think you can get. You choose the people out there based on what's in this cup. And if this cup is dirty, guys, then you're always going to get dirty people. When you manifest from need, you manifest more need. You're going to manifest needy people. You're going to manifest needy places, needy pets, needy babies, needy coworkers, needy, all kinds of things. Because when you manifest from state of being, that is what you get. When you manifest from want, you get more want. So I want a boyfriend. I'm ready. I don't need one because, I'm super strong, but I want one. You manifest from want, Well, guess what he's going to want? He's going to want you to be a certain way, and it's going to leave you wanting. You want to lose weight, you're going to be left wanting. You need to lose weight, you're going to be left needing. So what I'm going to do is show you not only how to completely get this water clean, but you get to fill it with what you choose, not what school and religion and your parents and the matrix put in here, because you're running off of old programs that were put in there without your physical consent, because you were running a theta brain and you were just absorbing and downloading, and you weren't paying attention to whether or not you liked that program. But instead of going in and changing the program, you avoided it, created an alter projection of someone who now needs to be chosen because underneath you feel not chosen. Okay. So once the body starts to utilize Imagineering, which is a whole bunch of different type of imagination training, your body begins to generate new hormones. So you have adrenalized stress, okay, and you have adrenalized joy. And when you start to get into some of these blissful sessions with yourself, your body will start vibrating on a level that you couldn't even experience maybe heroin feeling like. But it's not necessarily addictive where you want to be in meditation. We're not going into the stillness. We're going into creation. We're going into your laboratory. And you're going to finally get to play with source energy and learn from how it feels, how it's unfolding, what's happening. And you're going to get to do all of this with yourself. So then when you do come back into physical reality, it's going to look more gray and dull and more boring because you were just in your heaven. And then you'll start the thought rehab part. Okay. And then once you do the thought rehab, this will be clean. So now this physically will look like your Imagineering. All right. So whether you have pain in your body, or you want to lose weight, or you just, want a better relationship or money, the reason why I recommend this particular boot camp is because once you come home to the body, this is how you manifest reality. This, okay? So your subconscious mind is never going to change from another workshop class, okay? This boot camp is 100% about changing subconscious mind, not teaching you about it, right? You're going to learn as you go, and you're going to start to learn from you. It's time for you to disciple off of yourself. There's going to be amazing things you're going to learn about yourself, and there's going to be some things that are going to make you want to puke that you've been doing behind your own back to yourself that has been ruining your own life. And yes, that is disheartening at times, but you'll have your bigger experience to lean on. Because when you lean on source or God or whatever, you don't have to lean on anyone else. You don't have to ask anybody else. You don't have to try. You don't have to guess. You don't have to assume, because you will know. And like I said, epigenetics is the idea of environment. Environment turns genetics off and on. So we're going to use your Imagineering work to create a new epigenetic cocoon for you so that your body will begin to turn the DNA on from your imagination, not from what is outside of you, which means the food that you eat will have to come through the epigenetic space, and it will digest and manifest through your body the way that you say it will. Kind of like when you hold a crystal, your body moves into the frequency of the crystal because it's holding its state of being. And when you eat food, you become the vibration of the food because you're not here. You're over there thinking about what so-and-so might do tomorrow, or replaying an argument from yesterday, or assuming something is going to happen that's not going to happen. And you're nowhere near the body, and you develop allergies. That's why. When you are not here, this begins to die, break down. It becomes to get heavier to protect itself. It becomes to age rapidly because you're always thinking in the world's imagination, which is defend and protect yourself. And when you are in that mind, you are going to be aged rapidly You're also going to lose your joy, which is why then you go chase the light. Because when you're studying or listening to a creator teach you something new, it gives you that high. But you're never going to actually do anything with that if you start to feel the thought of, I don't know what to do here. And instead of turning in and having the tool of I am God or I need God, which is going to be your two anchor points during this, you're going to go either I am or I need, and you're going to play both parts. You'll never have to look outside of yourself again, ever. You'll never have to ask questions. You'll never have to pick up a book. You'll never have to get on a scale because everything will just always stay the same. And that is just the tip of the iceberg of what you can create when you are dominant creating with your newly reprogrammed subconscious mind that is full of your hopes and dreams that's running automatic, which means that your dreams will arrive before you get there instead of your failures arriving before you get there. Okay. So this is how it's going to work. And the nature of reality is it's never going to change. This is the hardware and the software of the video game here. It's virtual. It's all about systems. It's all order. So it's not woo-woo. This is very scientific. And the way that you came in from a spiritual place, in order to have a physical experience, you were going to need something to hold the container of the programs of who I am, your self-concept, your self-identity, your self-personality. And yes, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to change for your personality, the best possible scenarios. Nothing bad is going to be with you because who you've always wanted to be is who you will be. Okay. You won't have insecurity. You won't have judgment. You won't have any sort of bitterness or anything because you're going to realize every single thing out in your reality has been you pushed out. So it's time for you to get in here and redesign it the way that you say you want to do it and get your conscious mind to put the effort in to be consistent. And see, that right there will start building really powerful partnerships outside of you because you are being an excellent partner. It will build abundance outside of you because your body is actually getting the source energy of you being present in it. It's not starving all the time. It's not neglected. It's not abandoned. It's not rejected. And yes, we'll have an age conversation inside and all kinds of things. So this is the nature of reality. And this is the meat of the boot camp. So the first 30 days is hardcore imagination training. Second month is the thought rehab. We've got to get that conscious thought, that affirm that what I see, what I do, what I am, we've got to get it in alignment. We've got everybody telling the same story. And that's where consistency starts to impress the subconscious. And she says, I'm really impressed. He's been very consistent. I think I will accept this new affirmation. And now it's forever, which means if you affirm that you're a certain weight, you could eat all you want. I just ate 2 donuts this morning and I feel amazing. Because donuts are my favorite food. And you're here to eat. You're here to live. You're here to dance and sing and love. And it's so important that you actually just get this right for yourself. Okay. So that is the nature of reality. And everything is you pushed out. This is all you've got to work with, conscious and subconscious. We've got super conscious, yes, and we've got unconscious, and we'll talk more about that in the boot camp. But this is really the meat of why we're doing this. So yes, to get this physical body, something you're proud of, something that works very well, the energy to go be an adventurer, and the clarity and vibration to attract things that are amazing that you actually get to keep. That's what I want for you. I know you're all powerful manifestors, but you're not keeping the things that you love because you have a program that I lose everything, or I don't have a foundation, or I'm not chosen, or I'm unworthy, or I'm undeserving. And you can only ignore those programs until the end. And then you will see at the end of the relationship, at the end of your weight loss journey, at the end of that job, that end is the beginning of the loop. So invest in yourself, guys. Yes, it's going to be a lot, but it's so much better than doing what you're doing for the rest of your life and getting older and sicker. Yes, you're going to have a head full of knowledge, but until you start embodying this and start really working with how reality is manifested through you, you're not truly going to experience the joy you came to do that. So I am super excited and confident to be able to take every single person through this because, like I said, it's strategic. It's black and white. There's no woo-woo. It is what it is. It's all scientifically proven. And the best part about it is you get to see day by day the changes that are going to be happening, first in how you feel, then what the feedback of reality starts to say back to you, and then third, the body, and then the life, because this is the player. You create the playmates and you create the playground all through you. And it's your time to shine. Your time to go from the caterpillar to the butterfly. All right, thanks, guys.